Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the best podcast on the planet. I don't even have to say the name of it. You already know what it is. The Joe Rogan Experience. That's right. I took it over.
Oh
Today,
no.
I, I am the master of whatever he's doing now. I don't care. I haven't watched anything. But today, as you already heard, we have a special guest. The biggest one yet, I'm pretty sure. Henry Badger.
Hey, it's me,
Round of
Henry
applause.
Badger. What's poppin'? Thanks for having me on the podcast. It's been a while since I've actually been on one. Probably like I want to say like a year or two. But it's nice. It's nice to be back and invited to another podcast because I used to do one every couple months on a channel called Mr. No Life. But yeah, it's nice to do a little podcast every now and then. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure is on my side. Um, I actually prepared some questions for this one. So, for the usual viewers of our podcast, I'm so sorry. We will actually try to stick to the topic this time. I know it's disappointing that we usually start with nothing and end up on debating fart weaponry, but we will get there soon enough, probably. Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's the standard experience. I already talked about it with the co-host, Boromir. Oh God, now I have to switch from three different languages to read it.
Oh,
Actually, uh,
I'll bother me.
Boromir. Yeah, okay.
Bother
We
me,
talked
yes.
about this before. I think actually in the first podcast episode that with him on that with the previous co-host we actually spent like an hour talking about uh, a superpower that you point at someone and you make them shit. So yeah,
That is dangerously powerful, actually.
I
yeah,
vaguely
we
remember
went
this.
power scaling on that one, and unfortunately, I don't think it's on my YouTube channel because it was a part of a 14-hour long mega episode that wouldn't want to be uploaded.
You tell me it wouldn't work because it
14
was 14
hours?
hours.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
it was 14 hours, but it was like we it started with something named the clown car clip, because we came up with the best fucking joke ever, and we didn't record it. So after that, every time we called each other, I just whipped out OBS and started recording. So, and then we came at the end. We finally got the contender that could beat the clown car clip, which was the superpower debate, which we
Oh my
was
gosh.
yeah, it was 1 hour of trying to balance. It was game development.
Oh my god. 14 hours though? How do what?
Yeah, unfortunately,
Jeez.
YouTube changed its rules, and you can only upload a video that is 12 hours long. So yeah,
Yeah,
that ruined it. But man, that was fun. I listened to it like 3 times.
good stuff. Releases it in parts like it's one of them like finale films like Harry Potter or something where they release it into multiple parts. That's
I could have done that, but unfortunately, while I was exporting it for like the fifth time because well, obviously it was too long for YouTube. They cut the power, some reason I don't know what was happening, and it corrupted the footage. So yeah,
oh my gosh.
yeah,
That's terrible.
yeah, that was fun. But anyways, jumping from back to the topic at hand, aka you. You're the main thing here. Uh, actually, we'll ask ask Boromir. Do you have any questions? Like,
Not, not really.
not really.
I
Okay.
haven't. Well, it probably was mutuals with Badger on one of my old accounts.
You have been mutuals
Uh,
with many people over the years.
yeah. I used to actually, have connections somewhat.
Powerful powerful people in powerful places.
Oh man. Oh
I
man.
I used to I used to have mutuals with I used to be mutuals with Ayit Sevi before he even had like 500 followers, I think.
Oh, a Yeet Sevi before he was cool. Oh,
I
officer on
know,
deck.
I kid you not. It was like back in 2018. That was when I had
Cool,
my
cool.
first account.
Man, we can all agree that every one of us has some cool, deep internet lore, which is a an interesting thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
for better and for worse.
yeah, exactly. We all have stories we can point to and say, yeah, that was one of the worst days of my life. I love making
Yeah,
jokes about that day because it's so funny in retrospective.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
always fun to look back and kind of laugh at stuff, even if it's a bad thing, and you make it
That's
a
my
positive.
that's how I cope with what happened. I just point and laugh because
Exactly.
I can make many funny jokes about what happened to
yeah.
me. And we're gonna go serious a bit serious here. That's one of the, I guess you could say, things that I'm worried about. That's a problem. Is I can joke about it, and then people will think that it's either not real or I'm not taking it seriously because of it. That's like the biggest problem of the internet.
I
And talk,
gotcha.
yeah.
I should preface I don't know the context of the situation, but
I mean, I'm just talking about like joking about my like joking about serious stuff, right?
okay.
People have different coping mechanisms. So yeah, that's like, I'm putting every time I joke about or say about talk about joking about my past, I say this specific line that that's how I cope. So it must be said every time.
I gotcha.
Yeah, but
It is what it is, as my
exactly.
Boston friend would say.
Yeah.
Uh, good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes. So let's jump to the questions, and we'll jump to the questions that I actually have, surprisingly, and most of them are just because I'm curious. Uh, what like well, first one is what made you want to actually be a person on the internet?
Okay. I'm assuming this is for both of us, not just me. Um, I'm happy to answer first if that's what we're going for.
I mean, yeah, that's like you're the first person to answer the questions. We're just gonna talk after you.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. What made me want to be a person on the internet? That's a pretty good question because when I was younger, I definitely did have a lot of like anxiety to meet new people. I moved around a lot as a kid, so I didn't get when I was really really young, I didn't get the time to develop really strong social bonds. So, I think it's because a lot of the friends that I made when I was younger were online from like TF2 and Minecraft and stuff like that. So I think it was just a natural progression to reach out more into the internet world to kind of meet new people. But I always just found the internet obviously fascinating. I was born in 1999, so I was always like a little behind on terms of like technology and internet and stuff. But oh yeah, when I had access to the internet, that was mind blowing for me, and I met some wonderful people and I just kept going pretty much. Everything that I wanted to do in one way or another required internet access. A lot of online gaming, a lot of pursuing of my interests like voice work and stuff like that. And um, yeah, 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 that's yeah, it's all good.
Ah, well, uh, my story was a little bit different because it started off as all great things start off in is YouTube, obviously, uh, and like as a young child, and specifically as me, the person, uh, I saw all these big people, right, and I was, whoa, they are so cool. I wanted to be like them. I didn't like, not in the sense I wanted to be popular. I just wanted to be like them, just be cool. And I started like fanatically watching YouTubers at a very young age, and it kind of I adopted many things from them, and because I was and still am socially inept, and introverted, you could say. I really do not like being around people in real life. Uh, I just kind of started going further and further into YouTube, developing uh, parasocial relationships with the creators, and then I learned of the thing called Twitter. Then it got out of hand. 2 accounts in, and then I became an semi-influential person in a community. Then the community blew up. Joined another one. 3 days later, it again blows up, and got my biggest account. I think it was like 600 followers. That was the peak, and now and basically now I'm here. It's really it's hard to actually explain why. I guess the biggest force pushing me forward was just because I thought like the YouTubers have Twitter. I like the YouTubers. I want to interact with them more, so I'm gonna go on Twitter. And I thought it was cool, so I went in there. Regretted that very much, but at the time, but I got addicted, so I made another account, and it went forward. It was
Yeah, I'd say that's a similar thing with me with a lot of people. It's just a matter of wanting to connect and reach out with more people, and
yeah,
you meet these online people doing these cool projects or these cool videos, and you're like, hey, I wanna see more of that. I want to do more of that. It's a sense of community.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
It really is just like the I think like for many people the addicting part of the internet is not the clicks of other people looking at your stuff. Is just the ability to connect with thousands of people that think similarly to you or do things like you or like the same thing, and you can like talk about stuff, do stuff with them. It's really fun to do that.
yeah, exactly. And even if there are people who you don't necessarily agree with, it's just the idea that you can have those interactions and kind of have your place in the world kind of challenged in a fun way. It's wonderful. The internet is a wonderful thing. I don't think people give it enough credit.
Yeah, I think.
It's pretty easy to crap on the internet
Oh,
for everything, right? Especially
yeah.
Twitter and stuff like that. But
uh,
uh, there's some wonderful things that have come out of the internet.
yeah, it's like it's a balanced thing, as everything in the world. It has its ups and downs, arguably. So some are like there's more sometimes downs. There's sometimes more ups. It just depends on the time and people.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Really is just up to how the world works, and yeah, I think that with enough work of every single person, I think that it's achievable that we can make an internet objectively a good place for most people. Like for the like you take like a normal person, we can make the internet the best for them if we try hard enough. But
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of where like building a community is so enticing, especially when you have enough followers and stuff like that. You yourself can build your own community and kind of, I wouldn't say set your own rules, but kind of make it your own and kind of, I wouldn't say enforce because that's a powerful word, but influence people to be nicer to one another and create that nice little sense of community that everyone seems to enjoy.
yeah, that's kind of something like I have now, like the microcosm of whatever the hell I'm currently in. It's kind of it's fun. You have different people of different opinions and people that are recognizable in that community for a certain thing they do. Like for instance, I am the guy who constantly posts about Arma 3, and that's my calling card. You are the crazy voice actor
The man who yells into a microphone for money.
Yes, like and for me also the gateway to to the larger Halo community, because I kind of distanced myself from them a bit.
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
I
Fair
don't
enough.
like them, to be honest. Like not the entire community, okay, but the people I've seen. I've seen the bad part of the community first, and that we can all agree seeing the bad part first will ruin it for the rest.
Yeah, I mean, as somebody who's been in many communities over the 23 years of me being alive, Um, I I would say Halo community, and keep in mind I've been in the Overwatch community, I've dabbled in the League of Legends community through friends.
Or
Like I've seen toxic, and I honestly I think the Halo community in terms of just overall points um is the biggest case of bad apple spoil the bunch.
uh,
It's like
yeah, I
it's not everybody that's terrible because 99% of the community are some of the nicest people I've ever met, some of the most talented people I've ever met, wonderful, wonderful people. But then there's bad apples that spoil the bunch that are loud and say a lot of inflammatory things, make inflammatory videos. Like, yeah, I'm sure you've seen some of the thumbnails and some of the
yes, I.
videos from some of the
Oh my
community
god,
members that are like, I wanna fight 343. I wanna fist fight them in the
uh,
parking lot. It's like, okay, gee, I wonder why the community is kind of a little, not
fragmented.
on the same page. A
Yeah.
little fragmented, considering some of them would, and I'm not saying this lightly, they would quite literally fight the employees in the parking lot.
Yeah,
I just,
yeah, I
it's
see.
it's a little it's a little frightening.
Yeah,
It's a little worrying.
yeah. I did when you mentioned the thumbnails part. I just remembered that a couple days ago I saw a thumbnail on it, and on the thumbnail it said 343 can gargle my left nutsack,
Yeah, yeah,
and
I saw that. I,
and
I wasn't sure if that
my
was.
my first thought was, wait, this dude has two whole nutsacks, like not one
Uh,
but two. Does he have four balls?
uh,
Like what's the logistics
it's.
behind that? It's just-
I thought that was an exaggeration. Like I thought somebody made that fake thumbnail
oh yeah, I
to
thought that was also
as
like a
like
joke.
yeah, I thought it was like to kind of emphasize just how toxic people can be, but no, it was
It was
from what I heard at least, it was serious, and I was like,
wow,
oh my goodness. I mean, no disrespect to the content creator because maybe
obviously.
they are actually spitting facts because I how can I speak if I've never seen the video, right?
Yeah,
But I'm speaking solely on the thumbnail alone here, and that there is a lot of passion in that statement for
yeah.
sure. Um, yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was giggling at it a little bit, but yeah, yeah, I feel like the Halo community needs to kind of calm it down. But I can understand. I can understand why some of them are upset. The
Yeah,
the franchise hasn't been handled in the best way, but there are more cleaner and kinder and more productive ways of handling it. But I mean, this community's been like this for the last I don't know
uh,
since the dawn of time. So,
when
eh,
when did Halo reach? I think like the biggest I don't know, fracture in the community happened like when Halo Reach released. I think that was the biggest point of it, you know, fracturing. That was
oh,
the
honestly, I'm just old enough, like just in heavy, heavy quotations, old enough to remember the trouble that Halo 2 caused
oh, I
when
mean,
Arbiter was playable. I distinctly remember because I would have been 5 years old at the time. But my friend's older brother, which was like 16 at the time, I remember him telling me about Halo because he flopped me behind the controller a couple times and showed me it because he's the cool older brother that shows you the games you're not supposed to see kind of thing.
yeah,
And he was talking to me about Halo 2. He's like, yeah, the sequel just came out or whatever, and everybody hates this big guy. Like no one, like everybody's like, why are you playing as him? Like I want to play as the green guy. Like it doesn't. Why would I want to play as him? Like he's ugly. He's annoying. I don't like his voice. Like people like really hated him. and him and his friends would tell me about the alien guy, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the alien guy's lame. Whatever. It's cool he can turn invisible, but it's like whatever. So whatever. It's so much cooler to be the other guy. Like I don't understand why I'm working with the aliens. It's stupid." And it's like, wow, okay. And yeah, that's like a core memory of mine. I remember him just going on a huge tangent about playing as the alien and how upset he was by that.
Wow, that's I am his spiritual successor.
Yeah, there you go. But that was like a year before YouTube came out,
Oh,
and that just really dates me. My goodness. Yeah, it was a year before YouTube came out, and it was like before a lot of major forums were really popularized and stuff like that. So not a lot of people could really like publicly talk about their opinions
yeah,
on the
and
internet as easily. So it's not well as documented, but I guarantee that the hate for Halo 2 and the changes they made was like not up there with like Halo 5 or anything, but
yeah,
it was still notable. And I think with every game,
yeah. And to be honest, I think every single time, every new thing and every new addition will have pushback. But
exactly, any sort of change.
yeah, yeah, especially with a game that we can agree was revolutionary for the time.
Oh, absolutely, I love Halo 2.
We cannot say
Love it.
like for the Halo and Halo 2 on the Halo 3 they were we could all say they were to some extent revolutionary and very important for both the people their own franchise and the Xbox and the gaming sphere in general. It made uh, many I don't know, fucking forgot the word I wanted to say, but
Yeah, it
it was influential.
revolutionized gaming.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
from the moment it released. It was we could say it was a cult classic. Nobody is going to disagree on that. Because
I wouldn't even say it was a cult classic because there was no cult behind it. It
I
was it
mean,
was like
uh, y-
front and center mainstream.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think, yeah, okay. Well, it was a
No,
classic.
not to disagree with you. I'm
I mean,
I'm just
listen,
reinforcing your point here.
I don't understand many phrases because I'm not native English speaker, so I can just if I say something that is not technically correct, please do correct me.
Okay, no worries. Well, let me say this. You're doing great. Um,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
wonderful English.
I did spend oh my god, 9 years. I'm 17 now. Yeah, around 9 years on YouTube. Uh, on English YouTube, not even counting the time I was just watching Polish YouTube. But ever since I think I was like, oh my god, now I have to count. 8, 7, around that time, I was exclusively watching English YouTubers. So yeah, uh, that's how I learned everything I know about English now, which is kind of fun.
Wow,
That's
that's genuinely impressive.
yeah.
Wow, very cool.
That sometimes I flip flop between accents. So yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I used to have a little bit of an accent, but now I just kind of have like a weird nothing burger of an accent because my family is English and Danish.
Oh,
So they still have the accents for the most part and stuff like that. But I was the first generation born in Canada, so I kind of was raised with like four different accents around me. So now my accent is just sort of like a big the hodgepodge of nothing. Like it's not an English accent, it's not an American accent, it's not Canadian. It's just kind of little everything. I do pronounce certain words kind of weirdly though. But for the most part, those sorts of things have faded away with time and just interacting with other people. Uh, but yeah,
I mean
yeah,
the pronunciation of words is we can say that it's unavoidable. Sometimes you're just gonna say a word very
exactly.
weirdly.
Hmm.
But yeah, uh, the biggest thing I remember about the fan base divide was as I said, Halo Reach. That was the only thing I remember. I don't think
Definitely, yeah.
I think like the I think that is like one of the defining moments because everyone keeps going back to it as the point. No matter what point they try to make, they go back to Reach, because well, it was, the first mainline Halo game that really went out with the, experimented. Besides ODST, obviously, that's a completely different bag. But we can all agree that Halo Reach was the, experiment, definitely.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
and it implemented a lot of the features people now hate or now love, and it's just a battlefield. You can't even say you like the game, no matter if everyone is gonna hate you for it.
Exactly. That's kind of where the Halo community is at. It's like no matter what you like, someone is going to disagree with you, but
Yeah,
also somebody's going to agree with you. But I think it's a double-edged sword, in a good way, because obviously you'll find like-minded individuals very easily, but you'll also find opposition very easily. But that could maybe challenge your taste in games, and you might learn something new. Like
yeah, it's a
yeah.
it's a good thing to an extent, obviously, as everything, but it's a good thing. It keeps the discussion going.
Yeah, and I'd argue the Halo community would have died a lot quicker and had more trouble than it currently is if everybody just agreed and shook hands and everybody
Yeah,
was
if you,
happy and then everyone clapped.
yeah,
And then everyone clapped. But yeah, I think the reason partially the community has been around for so long is its sort of diversity, and
it
you can play one Halo game and get a different experience and play another one, get a different one, and
yeah
just the
it
yeah,
evolves alongside the games, basically.
yep, exactly.
Every new addition is every new point of discussion, and it's good that actually I've seen a lot of discussions, most of them pointless, but I've seen actually a lot of discussions that end in a good point that actually went in and actually solved a problem that would be beneficial for both sides of the argument, which is kind of interesting because I have to admit this is the first community I have ever seen do something like that. Any other I've ever been into is like either complete and utter hatred or doing nothing at all.
Fair
It's
enough, fair enough.
yeah, legitimately. Uh, I've been in a lot of communities, just going from one to the other, which is kind of funny because uh, I, it's weird because I join I like the game, so I joined the community. I see the community is very toxic. I see the wrong side first, and I don't, and then I start disliking the game because of them. That happened sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not those are not my proudest moments, but yeah, sometimes you just hate people so much they ruin their own thing for you.
No, that's definitely happened, for sure. It's a big case of bad apples spoil the bunch, you know.
Yeah,
You'll start associating the bad people and the bad actions with those things, and you'll just lose interest very quickly.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's it's very impressive when somebody can kind of like see something terrible as their first impression and kind of push on forward and be like, okay, maybe don't judge a book by its cover, sort of thing, and keep moving on. I had to do that a couple times with a few with a few communities where it's like first impression is just like terrible, absolutely awful,
oh
and I'm
yeah,
like, wow, why would I ever want to interact with these? Why
yeah,
why would I ever talk to these people? But no, just bad apple spoil the bunch. Don't
uh,
judge a book by its cover. That whole thing. But yeah, yeah.
and we have to say that there is also the other side, the opposite. Like the community looks cool, and then you join it, and it's just a cesspit.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
mean,
I have
that's
that.
kind of why it's important not to stick, like to completely go full send into any
Yeah,
one community, because if that ends up not being the best, then you haven't lost everything. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people in the Halo community be like, well, I can't give this up because I mean, I don't
that's
have any other community
yeah,
to go
that's
to or
their whole
something like that.
thing. They spend like years building stuff, talking with each other, and then they can't just abandon it. They really don't have anywhere else to go. Where
Exactly.
they would have to abandon everything, which is very, very not fun. I know, I
Yeah.
experienced it personally.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of YouTubers have trouble sticking to one game for more than a few years, and then they go, "Oh, I got to
Yeah,
branch out content," because it's you can't make content for one game forever, you know? I mean, with Minecraft maybe, but
yeah.
um, in 30 years, is that still going to be relevant? Minecraft maybe, it might not be,
D-
but that's
we
part of the whole
we
thing.
we can't really go that far out. I could predict maybe 5 years most.
Yeah,
That's
I I,
that's and
I
that.
have some strong opinions on Minecraft.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I haven't moved on from 1.16.4. I have not moved on. I have so many mods on that. I just do not want to move on, and I don't
That's
care
totally
what they add. Really, I just don't care.
I
They can add literally goats. I don't know, doing backflips. I would be happy because I can play modded Minecraft. I wouldn't care.
Um, that actually reminds me of a series of tweets that I made. They were kind of tongue in cheek. I do regret them, but hey, that's the internet, right?
Yeah.
I do sort of kind of regret them. It was talking about Minecraft development.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Oh, you did? Okay. It was for people watching, basically, long story short, I made a tweet where it was talking about the new update in Minecraft. And I'm like, how many employees does Mojang have again? And I like looked it up and it was, a lot, a good amount.
500 something.
And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but it took God knows how long for them to add the sniffer into the game, which is just a big creature that sniffs ground and digs up seeds. And like a couple of structures, a couple of biomes and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't know, man. That many employees working on something like that, like I feel like I went on a whole rant where it's basically like, okay, I don't really think they're all working on the game or something's going on behind the scenes where because way back when I mean, it's always a little silly to compare an indie dev company to a major multi-billion-dollar corporation, but when Minecraft was indie, they could pump out content a lot more frequently. But that isn't. Then again, they weren't working 8 hours a day, sort of thing, clocking in, clocking out. They were working on their own time, sort of thing. But it's like the amount of content versus the amount of employees at Mojang. It just seemed kind of like weird. And my theory was, well, it's Microsoft bureaucracy. It's just how Microsoft works. I know a lot of people in the game development scene, and they always say, well, when we create something new, we could have created it in a couple days, but then we have to send it off to corporate and HR and all that, and then have them have a look at it to approve it. And it's always that's why things take so long in AAA development companies because
Yeah.
the big man upstairs kind of has to approve it and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's that,
And
that that's the biggest problem right now I think with the gaming industry. It's just
exactly.
like you can have great stuff, you can have everything prepared, and then like the guy upstairs will say, like he like everyone else in the company might be uh completely in touch with the community. They know what the community wants, but it goes up to the boss, and the boss is just like what 60-year-old Patrick, uh, and he just says, no, no, this will
Yeah,
sales down, no good, and then
yeah,
you can just
unfortunate.
you can't just implement that. It's just
Yeah, and I think I'd argue one of the most harmful things in game development, but it is also a double-edged sword, is being in a major company like that, multi-billion-dollar company, because great, you have all the funding you could possibly want. Fantastic. Your game will probably never die unless if it is shut down because you will have the funding from the big corporation guy. But at the same time, you also now have to answer to those groups and to those guys. And if they say no on something, then it's like, oh, okay, guess I got to make their game. You know what I mean? Not
yeah,
my game. So I feel like that's this is all speculation, but I feel like that's the situation with Minecraft. It's like, yeah, you could make 10 mobs and pump it out, but you could risk sales because
yeah,
maybe people don't like that mob, maybe like the Phantom, right? People did not like the Phantom when it was added. And that I'm willing to guarantee that probably could be seen on a sales chart. And unfortunately, with the case with Minecraft and a lot of multi-billion dollar companies, the big guys don't see it as a game, they see it as a product. They are selling a product to you.
Yeah.
So if, somebody adds the Phantom, that's not good for the product. It's good, maybe good for the game because, hey, it's a new creature, but people don't like fighting against it and dealing with it, so it's not good for the product. Um, so, yeah, just like adding a new feature to a microwave that nobody uses is bad for the product because it creates the fear of overchoice and stuff like that. It's a very similar concept. And I mean, yeah, it's great that Minecraft will probably be around forever because now it has funding and backing from the one of the biggest companies in human history, and also, selling exceptionally well. It's one of the best selling games ever. But at the same time, yeah, it's being run by a big corporation, so it's gotta be a kind of careful with what it makes. It can't take as many risks anymore, which is good but sad. Um,
So
and
unfortunately
yeah,
for the the special crowd I have always near my heart, unfortunately that will mean that there will be never official Minecraft sex update. I am so sorry to announce that.
no sex update, but I want it now. Trashes the room like Peter Griffin.
Yes,
But yeah. I feel like, I mean, and that isn't to diss on what Minecraft has been making, because
obviously.
some of the stuff that they've been making is absolutely wonderful. Some of the best content ever. Like, I love
Caves
it,
and
but
Cliffs is amazing. I have
exactly,
it's
the Warden,
yes,
fantastic. Some,
I love all that stuff. And to be honest, like I know that a lot of people may disagree, but even the small lore bits, I like lore about a lot. I
me
love it.
too.
It's great. I don't care. I
Um,
don't care. It's a block building game, and there was no lore before. I just like to think that there was something before and
yeah,
uncover it. It's just cool. I don't care.
exactly. And I definitely want to focus on a positive. I believe his name is King B Dogs. He's working at Mojang right now. Is it Mojang or Mojang? I
I
always say
al-
Mojang,
I always say
but
Mojang.
oh, okay,
I don't know.
Mojang.
I don't know. Just
Interesting.
fucking. Well,
Is it
actually no.
Swedish, right?
It depends on if I'm speaking in English or Polish. That's like
Oh, okay. I'll probably just swap between the two, just so I'm never wrong. But
annoy every oh wait, sorry. You mean they're never wrong? I would just do that because I would like to annoy people.
I'm one step ahead. I'll never be wrong. But anyway, they hired King B Dogs. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe his name is King B Dogs, the
Mm,
creator of the Aether mod, which is one of my favorite mods ever. I played that when I was younger all the time. My gosh, I would set up servers for it and play the crap out of it. They hired him, and now he's developing a lot of stuff for Minecraft. Like he added the, I think I could be wrong because I'm not super, you know, into the Minecraft community, but
yeah.
I'm 90% sure he made the Warden, and I'm pretty sure he made like the Skulk and like the Strider, a lot of like the funkier, fun, experimental stuff that isn't necessarily the thing that's gonna bring in the big bucks, the big experimental
Yeah.
stuff, um, like the Skulk and all that. I think I have major respect for King B Dogs. I always have since day one because he obviously created the Aether mod, one of my favorite mods ever, and now he's on Mojang creating a lot of cool stuff. But out of all the people, and I feel terrible about this, out of all the people to see my Minecraft tweet where I was kind of
It,
like, okay,
yeah.
where is all this resources going? It was King B Dogs,
Yeah.
and as soon as I saw the notification appear in my Twitter, I was like, oh
I
no,
fucked
I'm
up.
sorry, dude. I was like, this wasn't pointed at you, dude. Like you're like the top of the game. Like
You're
don't
one of
oh
the
my god.
good
That's
ones.
yeah, that's like going, I don't even know, like going into a construction worker place and being like, you guys are just pedaling around the same 5 pounds of concrete, and then you turn around and there's like, I don't know, Dwayne the Rock Johnson helping out on the on the field. You're like, oh, I didn't mean that for you, Mister The Rock. You're really cool. I was just saying to these guys, kind of like, what's going on? Like, why is it taking so long? I didn't mean that directed at you, sir. I'm sorry. It was like that, like this guy who actually works in the field and works his ass off, sort of thing. King B Dogs. Um, so it was obviously quite embarrassing, and I was like, okay, I kind of regret making that tweet because of that, but because obviously I was more so pointing at the corporation, the bureaucracy behind it, not necessarily the individual employees. Because my tweet was to imply that it's like, okay, you have all these guys hired, but you're not allowing them to flow very much.
Yeah.
And in the last tweet, I implied that the problem was the big corporation guy. Not to be like, oh, burn the big corporations. It's just sort of like, yeah, there's lot of. I throw this word around a lot, but bureaucracy, a lot of it at that company. I'm assuming, but I feel terrible that King B Dog saw that as like a thing where it's like him and his team, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean that. You're like the good guy. You're, oh no, I didn't mean that, buddy. I'm sorry. But yeah, yeah. Oh, geez. If I was younger, like I don't know, like 16, and I saw that, I would have been, oh my god, because I played during that time. I played the Aether like almost every day in high school. Um, so I would have been like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry, please. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I
Sometimes you
mean,
gotta make an inflammatory statement on Twitter.com, and sometimes you get a clap back for it. But on both fortunately and both unfortunately, a lot of people agreed with me. They were like, yeah, dude, like what's going on? Like Microsoft doesn't,
yeah.
man, Microsoft is just like everything's got to be approved by those guys. But at the same time, we don't want Microsoft to tell the employees to work harder because obviously they're doing
Yeah.
what they can. Um,
That's like
but it's yeah,
I think like it can be interpreted wrong at all levels because you directed it at the management, but the people probably could interpret it at like you attacking the workers, and Microsoft can interpret it as you being disappointed that their workers are not working hard enough.
exactly. So
So
that's
yeah,
why I
that's
was like, in my last couple
triple-edged
of tweets, I was
sword.
like, yeah, this is definitely Microsoft, because you see this in every company, like every major company, not even just by Microsoft, but a lot of major AAA companies nowadays. Things take a long time, and I mean that's a good thing because the mental health of the employee is secured for the most part. But at the same time, it's like every passion creation that somebody makes, it's like, I really really like this idea and I really really want it to see the light of day, but we have to run it through George. And then George is sitting there on his yacht, and he goes, oh, I guess it's all right, but add the other idea. I think that's better for sales. Our sales team says it's better, so that idea, just scrap it. I don't know. And then it's like, oh, whoops.
The PR
So
management said that the
yeah,
people on the internet under their tweets said ratio every time they spoke. So no, we are not adding the thing they want. We are adding the useless thing.
yeah. I mean, speaking of the ratio thing, I actually feel like this generation has the most power to shift a
Oh,
company.
oh my God!
By
I
far, the amount of times I've seen that happen
I
is
have to
bonkers.
say, I have to. My autism has activated, and I have to say, we can going a little bit into politics here territory, but it's good. This is currently the time we are living in. We have the most free speech we ever had. We, the normal people, like ordinary person, can actually change stuff. Finally, we can actually do stuff, and this is like we can just laugh at this because yeah, it's ratio in Twitter, but it has changed stuff.
Yeah,
Companies seeing that people, their customers are agreeing with someone else other than them, makes them think that shit, no money, and they will act. Uh,
yeah,
and I think that we can upscale that to the governments if we try hard enough. Because I have to say another thing. It's very very scary that suddenly every single like free speech activist has appeared out of nowhere and is trying to tell everyone else that our rights are being infringed and actually the big corporations are on our side and the news agencies want the best for us, and it's like, no, you try you're with cahoots with the people that want us to make to milk us for money. Like, yeah, that's I had to say it. Okay, that's just f- stronger than me.
In conclusion,
Yes, in conclusion.
revolution. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, but no.
Depends on the country.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Definitely, I would say yeah. For the most part, I mean, I haven't lived in other ages. You know, I'm not a timeless, omnipotent God, but I would say yeah. This is definitely a time for change. I think there's some wonderful things that come out of it. This kind of like goes back to the whole internet talk we had.
Yeah,
It's like we're connected more now than ever, right? It's very
yeah,
easy to get in touch with somebody from across the world and support others and help others and their goals and their dreams and influence for a better world. But
yeah.
yeah.
Great example right now is a YouTuber, an Australian YouTuber named Friendly Jordies. I think I don't know if you heard of him, but
Oh, is this the guy who almost
got
had his
his
house burned down?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I heard all about that.
Man,
My God.
I haven't watched the videos on him right from the start, but later they started to get recommended to me, and my God, he's actually doing some great work.
Yeah,
Wow, he is
I
literally saving koalas from extinction.
I think if we're talking about the same guy, the one who keeps getting bullied by like the local government
Yes,
into
that's
kind of
the
shutting
yeah,
up,
yeah.
and that he suspects that his house was,
A target like to scare him or maybe even
exactly.
kill him.
Yeah, I think that's literally obviously it's terrible, and it's terrifying that that
Yes,
can happen. Like it's the sort of thing you would hear about in a movie. Not to sound like a Reddit moment, but
yeah,
it
but
literally sounds like something you would see in a film. It's
and
it's terrifying that these things can kind of run rampant, and I think as difficult because as much as I talk smack and be a cheeky bugger on the internet, I would never have the balls to single-handedly go against a corrupt government like that, where they threaten your house,
yeah,
right? Where they just try to burn your house down. I mean, not this is speculation, and I'm not saying anybody was actually trying to burn his house down, but um, it seems pretty cut and dry.
yeah.
And yeah, it's
After
definitely a suspicious situation.
after 3 years of making enemies in high places all over the state, suddenly his home gets burned down after he exposes the big people on top in his state for being bad people. His house gets smoked.
Hmm.
It's kind of like
Um,
maybe, or maybe it was just a random person who just said, "Huh, I'm gonna burn this house
yeah,
down."
it could have been an
Literally
inflammatory thing, but
could have been
I
anything.
exactly. But that being said, I think people like him are needed in this world absolutely because obviously people need to be reminded that nobody is immune to anything.
Yes.
Nobody, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how many men and women and
How many
fighters
money
you
you
have on your
have,
side,
you know?
and how much money, you are not immune, and somebody will be there to put you to the test, right?
Yes.
And I think we as a species are easily corrupted. No matter how whatever you are, your morals and everything. Any amount of money, any amount of fame, power will eventually corrupt people. Even the
Yeah.
strongest willed person that oh, I would never. It might happen to you eventually if you're years and years and years and years and years and years of influence of money, wealth, power, everything. You're eventually gonna erode away, and you're gonna kind of lose some of those morals and all that. You're gonna
We
get confused. You're gonna be there's temptation.
yeah.
So I
We
feel like
have seen this happen with many people, mainly uh, YouTube and internet influencers. That's like the prime example. You take ordinary people, and they get a lot of money, get a lot of influence, and they suddenly change. They weren't
Exactly.
like this from the beginning, but the power of money can change people.
Yep. But sort of like any sort of, metal being tested on the anvil, some of it breaks and some of it becomes stronger,
Yeah.
And in cases like, Mr. Beast and stuff like that, Mr. Beast, but in cases like Mr. Beast, he's using his money for good, for genuine, actual, honest to God good, from what it sounds like. And he's even accused,
Yeah.
like on social media, a couple of big companies, like the companies that have insulin and stuff like that. Like, there's no reason they need to sell it that high because people need it, you know. Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
accusing them of that. And that guy, he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of influence. He can make some change. And yeah. Oh, one of my favorite things actually about the insulin company is when you could make like when you could buy the blue check mark. Somebody
Oh.
bought the blue check mark and pretended to be the big company that owns insulin, and they're like, "We're going to start giving insulin away for free." And they tweeted that out, and the company that has insulin lost millions of
Oh
dollars because of
yeah.
that, because a bunch of shareholders pulled out and a bunch of people obviously stopped buying it or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I think that's funny. I honestly, I don't. I think it's pretty twisted for somebody to patent and own a recipe for something that is
Life
literally
saving.
needed by literally life saving, that is needed
Yes.
by a pretty large portion of people, because some of those people are born with that. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a choice. So it's like, why do I get free healthcare in Canada, and I can get free stuff, but other people have to pay for stuff literally they need to get out of bed in the morning and not live in a coffin? Like,
Yeah.
yikes. I mean,
Exactly.
maybe
That's.
I think I'm speaking too widely here now. I think I'm talking about the world and society. I'm becoming the Joker over here, but
It's
that's
fine.
my 2 cents on everything. I feel like companies and people and everything need a little humble reminder that
Yeah.
you know try not to lose yourself in your endeavors, be
Yeah.
it better or for worse. Try not to lose your fundamentals of what makes you you. uh, no matter what, try to be the person who you've always been, unless if that person is bad and you want to change
Yeah.
that, then change. But
That's the like the main thing. If you're a good person, try to stay being as a good person. If you think you're a bad person, honestly, try to change.
yeah.
I
Please change and grow as a person.
exactly, yeah. That like the cool man with lightning said.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's sort of my 2 cents on everything.
Yeah,
I feel like try not, no matter where you go or what happens, try not to lose yourself in all of it. But it is very
exactly,
easy to do so, but you know, try
exactly.
your best.
If you lose yourself, then you'll be like my character from my thing I'm making, which he's a horrible person. Don't be like him, please. Please do not idolize my characters. They are very bad people.
You're missing the point by idolizing them.
Yeah,
uh,
literally me, the person who owns a military company that has executed millions of civilians. He's literally me. And
literally me.
it's
Wow.
it's it's kind of funny because me saying that it's actually literally he is me. Like the story is about I take myself and make my life in the story worse, and voila, you have a villain. Like technically a villain. It's
Lovely.
complicated. It's
Fair
just
enough.
it's a story about how uh fucked up you can become after everything that can happen.
Fair.
You know.
It's not a bad narrative thing.
But obviously, right now it's about him killing zombies because, well, complicated stuff requires me to have better things than Arma 3 to do. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
gotcha.
I think I can actually get a deeper thing going even with Arma 3. That's just not for my experience. I have speaking of the game, I have no, technically today too. I have been sitting till 2 a.m. trying to mod the game to get my
Oh
own
dear.
custom faction in, and I did it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was. I got a fucking migraine. I legitimately, my head was hurting when
I
I
would imagine.
finished.
Modding games are such a pain in the arse.
Oh my
I
god.
way back in high school, I used to make mods for a game called FTL Faster Than Light, and
Oh,
like
really?
even
Okay.
that was a lot for me to for me to do. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Even
I
like the thing I made, a simple custom faction mod. You could say simple, but I swear to God, holy shit! You, if there wasn't, if the community didn't exist, like the larger community, and Arma 3 wasn't as moddable as it is, I would do. Nah, no, I wouldn't do it at all. I couldn't because the community created a tool that streamlines the process of making a custom faction, and thanks to that, there is millions of custom factions in you know the workshop, and that's like what the great thing I like about the Arma community is that holy shit, there are literal geniuses in there. They
yeah.
they just turn out fucking game changing mods every fucking Saturday. I guess it's just holy shit. There's like one person I fucking idolize. They are named Web Knight, and they fucking added. Like, wait, I will fucking pull it up because they added so much shit to Arma 3. They added melee, like you actual melee. You can fucking with blocking and shit. Titans from Warhammer. Uh, Zombies, like custom stuff. Lightsabers, the Force from Star Wars. So much shit. And best part is they are. I am convinced. I think they are from Poland because they are in a group called Poland on Steam. It's obvious. That's you know. So
Oh.
as I jokingly said once, Polish master race. It's just I mean after some time it stops being a joke. But if a community can fucking turn out, oh actually yeah, the Web Knight added hunters and jackals. I know wait, hunters and grunts from Halo to
That's cool.
Arma 3, and they
Man,
actually fucking work like in the game. Yeah, Web Knight's Operation Trebuchet. They added you know hunters, the gravity hammer that actually works, grunts, melee, everything. Holy shit, bruh.
that's insanely impressive. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
and the best thing is that they started from just porting models to Gary's mod, which is uh, uh, it's a story, man. It's just amazing to what people can do, where people can go
Yeah.
from just not basically the beginning, like the simplest things. Yeah, I
Yeah,
I
that's super cool.
I'm just looking at I finally got uh the thing what's it called? The workshop page of him or of them. And it's improved melee system. There's a fucking flamethrower mod for Arma 3. Uh,
Oh, let's
we-
go.
droids from Halo. The entire main campaign of the game uh, made into a co-op thing. Lightsabers, fucking orcs from Warhammer as actual units. Amazing, amazing. Actually,
Yeah.
now also they created a mod that turns the game into basically an Ace Combat game.
Oh, that's cool.
I love this community. I love it. That and all this stuff inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. Is all those funny little things, which is
Lovely.
one of the like this is going back to the point about the internet. Arma 3 and the community is one of the best things that ever happened to me so far. and it's all thanks to the internet. So yeah,
There you go.
lovely.
It all comes together.
Yes,
It all
we did a one big circle. It's just perfect. This is
exactly.
like what we just did. We can call it a microcosm of the internet, starting with something, and then we go out, and then we come back to the square one, and that's like we look back at the journey, and wow, that was great. I love that. There was some good stuff, bad stuff, but it was great.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what, overall the internet
Yeah. So
uh, the
we
internet is good.
yeah. So it was the first question out of the way.
Oh God! Oh my God! Okay, maybe we'll maybe we'll hurry up these ones a little quicker.
Yeah, 1 hour. Oh,
Just maybe.
perfect. Perfect.
Oh gee. Actually, how long are your podcasts typically?
Uh, mm, 2 to 3 hours.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's shoot for that like 2 hour mark then, because otherwise I'm gonna rant all day. I am. If you've ever seen like my other podcasts that I've been on, I will go on huge tangents. So I gotta kind of like
Oh yeah,
hold
that's
it back.
my
I gotta
god.
hold it back a little bit.
Listen, if we were left to our own devices, I think we would both have our own. It wouldn't be a dialogue. It would be just monologue, and then after that, another monologue. It's just gonna be like this.
Well, I mean that's kind of good because it goes to show just how good of a public speaker we are and kind of what we have to say and everything. And
Yeah, then it's just like it shows that we have stuff to talk about.
exactly, yeah. I'd rather have too much to talk about than nothing at all, right?
Yeah,
So.
which
But
is
yeah, let's shoot for that 2 hour mark because
yeah.
otherwise
So
we're gonna be here freaking all day, and not to mention some of you are like 4 o'clock in the morning, right? So
yeah,
I
I
feel
think
I'm so sorry.
technically it's now 5 a.m. for him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to keep him any longer.
I'm. I've been quiet this whole entire time because I didn't know how or why or when to pitch in.
Exactly.
I have to stand up to keep myself awake right now.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
I can feel myself drifting off listening to you two talk just sitting in my chair. I have to stand up to make sure I don't fall asleep.
Oh my
Sleepy
god.
Joe.
Pyro Dude and Henry Badger talking lo-fi beats
Needs to relax and study too.
beats to relax and sleep to and whatever. It's great to look back and at what it was before, because compared to comparing this to what was before, uh, other podcasts, I think actually, I can literally pinpoint the most. Wait, oh god, I have to now look. I think the last great one, yeah. The episode 12 was the most. I think it was the most fucking unhinged one, because I think it started with me laughing my ass off. I have to check it out. Actually, yeah, oh my god, now it won't load. Perfect. Yes, the internet, lovely. Yeah, it's obvious. My sister is downloading Genshin Impact again for the like sixth time. Why?
Genshin.
Yeah,
It's always the cause of all of our troubles.
yeah, she is. Yeah, she is not okay.
Women breaking stereotypes once again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, technically, maybe we are breaking stereotypes, but she is. You take the default redditor that plays Genshin Impact, and you gender swap him, and you have my sister.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. Like,
I'm just imagining like the most generic like Discord Redditor
yeah,
Discord admin sort of thing, like that stereotype, and I'm
yeah.
just manifesting that as
A
what
woman.
you're describing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So it's she likes Genshin Impact, K-pop, and
No,
and that's pretty much all I know about her and what she
I hope they
likes.
find a cure.
I do.
I'm sorry. I hope they find a cure.
I actually,
I'm kidding.
I
I'm
think
kidding.
she's too far gone. I think the only cure is, where is it? Oh shit, it's downstairs. Oh, I'm not going for my gun.
Oh no, my God, no! Oh no!
I
Oh
was
my
gonna say
goodness! No, no, no,
it
no,
was
no!
going to be
No, no, no!
something along those lines.
Oh
I would have
no, no, no,
suggested
no, 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 no,
lobotomy.
no, 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 no,
Lobotomy
no,
would
no,
actually
no,
probably be more inhumane
no,
because this
no, no,
patient is
no,
still
no,
alive.
no, 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 no! That's in the past. That's no, 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 no,
We
no,
should
no,
break her spine.
no! 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 No!
And just
We are activating Badger's PTSD from the time he was in Vietnam.
No! 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 All right. Anyway, I'm Canadian. I don't know what a gun is.
It's the like. Have you ever seen like a firework?
Oh, it's the pew pew stick. Oh, pew pew stick. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but imagine
uh,
that. But when you point it at a person, it just like kind of it turns into red mist.
Oh, like Canadian free healthcare.
Yeah, you should
uh,
Canadian healthcare yourself.
actually, that's funny.
I
The
love.
whole stereotype that the free Canadian healthcare, like they'll just offer to kill you.
Yeah, I. It's
I've actually never heard of that. Like, I mean, I've heard of the
yeah,
joke,
the
but like
concept.
I've never anyone ever heard mention the whole assisted suicide thing. I mean, it
Yeah,
is something that is
a
in
thing.
some
Yes,
places, but
it
like the
exists.
amount you can't just like walk in and be like, yes, one free eternal death, please. Like you can't just like walk in at the counter and be like, hey, let me get the void, and then they just like take you. No, that's like there's a lot of like
Get executed on the spot.
yeah, exactly. They just have a firing squad behind the counter, and they're like, "All right, Tony, looks like it's gonna be your lucky day. Uh,
We
what sort
got
of ammunition are you thinking about testing today?"
we have American tourists in the town.
Oh no, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't really know
Oh my
anyone
god.
that's really been offered that, but it is something that can be done. But the amount of paperwork that has to be filled out, and the amount of like, I mean, I'm not super well versed in it, but from what I understand, there's a lot of paperwork that has to be filled out, and a lot of like checks that have to be
Yeah,
made, and contacting
yeah, obviously.
family and stuff like that. So
American.
it's not an easy thing to do, but
Yeah, but
it is
I
funny.
love that there are two fucking technically three, but the third one is only for the military. There are two stereotypes about Canadians. They are sorry about everything and they want to fucking kill you.
What? I've never heard that one.
I mean, the government wants to fucking kill you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It's like
There you go.
there's the two different ones. It's like they are like they like the most what's the fucking word? The people are like super fucking nice, but the second you have any sort of you step out of the line, you get fucking shot. It's just
Yeah, I
I
mean,
love the stereotypes. It's just so funny.
Canada is really weird because when you get to the U.S. border, you can kind of tell where like the cultural shift changes. There's a weird spot. I don't know. It's like a weird phenomenon where if you get close to the U.S. border, a lot of the people there are very like more American than they are Canadian. And I think it's because a lot of people will move to Canada and obviously they'll be close to the border. So that kind of like cultural shift will occur where it kind of mixes between the US and Canada, where there's less, you feel less like you're in Canada and feel more like you're in the US just because of how people talk, accents too, a lot of US accents and stuff like that. It's kind of weird, you'll walk like a day in one direction, you'll suddenly be like, I may not be across the border, but I can already tell some of these guys are American, or at least,
Where?
or yeah. just anywhere on the border, really, close to the border, you'll notice people are just more American than Canadian. It's a very interesting
It's
thing.
I would be worried about that because Texas might launch a special military operation to annex the border regions of
Oh,
Canada.
oh no, oh no, oh no. Fallout, hello?
Oh yay.
I'm a big Fallout fan.
The United States should annex Canada.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, they're annexing Canada. This is just like Fallout, guys. As I'm like getting cuffs put on me.
Holy shit, I always wanted to be nuked.
Holy shit, you guys! I sure hope I become a ghoul after the nuclear war.
Just nothing happens for the next
What are you
50
doing
years.
here, smooth skin? Oh, smooth skin, what do you do?
And then there's just American soldiers there. What the fuck is up with this guy?
He appears to be very irradiated, sir.
God damn it.
I yeah, I
I
don't
thought
need
they
I
all
don't need
die
your powers.
after the bombs. It's
Yeah, the
couldn't
only
oh,
superpower that I have is an early death.
actually
I
no, it
think the
depends.
most
It would depend. The reaction would depend on the service branch you would encounter in the field. Because if you encountered the Marines, they would probably laugh at you and throw rocks at you. Maybe offer
They
you
would
a
offer me a
crayon or two.
crayon.
Yeah.
There you go, there you go. They're like, you hungry?
It's
Like I'm
just
some like wild animal.
there's a guy in for full Seaburn's fucking gear and it's just box of crayons and he's trying to force feed you it.
Yeah,
All
a guy
the
comes in with an EOD suit and he's like, he's like, get out the crayons, and he pulls out the crayon and he's like, my favorite flavor is orange, but you can have a bite. He's like, I don't have a lot of oranges anymore because orange is my favorite, but you look like you need it more than me, buddy. As I'm just like dying of leukemia on the concrete. Okay.
you can hear the Geiger counters just going off in the background.
Exactly. You just the guy turns around and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna need the gourmet stuff. Bring out the purple."
I love like the purple is the universal one, the
Yeah,
best
exactly.
one.
Orange is good, but
I
nothing
would
quite beats a purple
I
flavor.
love me some browns though. They're pretty cool. No, you can do much with a brown one. Like you can draw a tree, you can draw a guy, you can shit.
You could draw a brick.
Yes, exactly. I don't think I ever saw a brick
Same.
in my life, but yes,
Yeah, exactly.
it's just
Oh, jeez.
the I like the fucking stereotypes about the United States Armed Forces. The Marines being the idiots, the army being just I don't even know what army is. I love their motto though. The United States Army is just has the best motto ever. Do you know what it is?
What is it?
Do you guys want to know?
Yeah.
sure.
Army strong. Army like this fucking
Army
Hulk.
strong.
Army strong. Army smash. Army no like terrorist.
Army smash. Beautiful,
It's
beautiful.
perfect. The
What a motto.
navy is just fat people, and the air force they can't do push-ups at all. Just I love the stereotypes. Well, wait, there's also the Coast Guard, which is before was the laughing stock. Now it's the most badass one.
Yeah, that's what I heard about the Coast Guard, but also the Navy. Maybe it's a Canadian thing, but the joke is that the people in the Navy are like Giga Chads, but they're all dating each other on the boat. That's the Canadian stereotype from what I heard at least. Like all the Navy guys can like kick everyone's ass, like everybody, like the military, the Navy, like whatever, or the Air Force, but the Navy are just like
The top.
Giga Chads. They just
Yeah.
will kick your ass no matter what. But they don't actually like do anything.
Yeah, they're just sitting.
They
They
just
lit-
all peak physical fitness, but they just don't actually do anything.
you know, when you're stuck on a boat for 7 fucking weeks, you just don't have anything to do. You just hit the gym.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's like all they do. But I have to say that I love the stereotype, the state specific stereotype about the fucking National Guard. I love it. I love the meme about Russian Spetsnaz encountering the Floridian National Guard. It's just fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
it's just a
jeez.
picture of the mud zombie from Left 4 Dead, just a fucking patrol cap on. It's just amazing. I
That's
love
good.
I love the United States Army. I love the military industrial complex. I would sell my soul for a stealth bomber. Please
Dude,
let me die in a
Please,
battlefield.
I
I
can be
uh,
trusted. I can be trusted.
I can I redo the application I did. It's wrong here. Don't look at it. Can I get another one, please? It's just all the simple questions are like, are you mentally unstable? Just yes, no. It's everyone is yes.
Oh no.
I think that was a yeah that there was a picture of an anime girl with that and just was like
it's done
simple yes or no
registration.
questions and it's like, are
The
you
last one
mentally
was, "Will
stable?
you kill yourself?"
Yeah,
And
just
she wrote yes, and then scribbled out and said
no.
no.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I love all that stuff. It's so
That's
funny.
funny. Yeah, good stuff.
We have to make
Uh,
fun of this stuff. It's a good thing.
exactly, exactly. That being said, what was the next question?
Ah,
We've been
exactly.
on such a tangent.
Yes. The next question is, what made you go into voice work? What was the thing?
Oh, fair enough. Well, for years I've always had a fascination in film. Even as a kid, I always loved the idea of acting, but also, acting to the point of where you can play a character that's not human, like a robot or something like that. As a kid, I always found that fascinating, right? I'm like, they're not actually a robot, but they're voicing a robot. That's super cool. And that kind of sparked it. And then I went to high school for theater and voice work and stuff like that. And then I started doing YouTube and started doing like small voice work projects for little animations and stuff. And it's just kind of snowballed ever since. And then I went to university for it a few years, and then I was a tutor for a high school class for theater and voice work and stuff like that for a few months. That was fun. But yeah, no, it's the job that gives me the most um, sense of like accomplishment. Like when I do a voice work project and I kind of see the project get finished, the animation or the video or whatever, and I hear my voice voicing those characters and being those characters, it's very um, like I feel complete when I do it. It's very lovely. But yeah, kind of a quick answer, but yeah, that's how I got into voice work. It's inspiration from people that I adore and content that I adore, and I kind of wanted to make some of my own and make it kind of a side job if I could.
Oh, I also always wanted to, voice act. I thought it was cool being able to be in a community project, just be out there, just be a part of something bigger. That was also a thing I always wanted to do because it seemed cool. But I never
Yeah.
followed through with it because, well, I barely can even speak normally, let alone in a different voice. So I just abandoned that idea.
Oh, well, never give up. I not to sound like a motivational speaker, but never give up because like I used to have a little bit of a weird accent, and I eventually grew out of it with practice and stuff like that. But also, like any skill, like any muscle, any amount of training will help you become better at that. Um, so yeah, if you ever want to get into it, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the field that are more than happy to help out and give you some pointers. I myself am not a professional, however, I do know people who are professionals and would be more than happy to train and help. So I'm sure where you live, there's plenty of people that can help if you ever want to pursue that.
Probably,
But
probably, but to be honest, uh, I feel happy with what I have now. Now I just need to
well, there you
learn
go.
how to read from a script. That's the that's the biggest problem. I need to learn how to read.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh my god. I think I actually did improve a lot, seeing as how I did like maybe 6 or 7 mistakes while reading and recording a script for, well, to this day I think the biggest video yet of mine. So yeah, I think it's good now.
Yeah, I'd say. So you're doing great.
But I'm not gonna show that video. It's yeah, it has some interesting topics at the end. It's just fucking whatever. But I wouldn't watch it purely because it gets depressing at the end.
Fair enough. I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was the next question?
Oh my. I need to fucking remind myself what was the next question. Jesus. Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah,
All good.
apologies for that. I have a horrible memory for stuff I come up with on
Don't
the
worry
spot.
about it.
So yeah, that was. Ah shit, I'm not gonna fucking.
It's no worries. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no,
It's
okay.
all good. Don't worry. We did a few questions. We talked. We're good.
We
We're good.
talked. That's
It's kind of the whole point of a podcast. I think.
Yeah,
I think we've
I
justified the existence.
I remembered something. I remembered something. Unrelated to the questions, but I remembered something. Where the fuck is the fucking iceberg video, you motherfucker? Where is it?
Yeah, no, oh my gosh. It is still being worked on. I actually almost finished it twice, but I had to redo it because certain things happened.
Yeah, it's a, it's an evolving thing, right?
It is an evolving thing. I had to, and then also I had my girlfriend look at it, and she was like, "Oh, Henry, how is this not on the list? Like everybody knows about that." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, you're right." So there's the first reason I changed it was because one like major thing that I spent like 10 minutes talking about in the video changed. So
Uh,
I was like, oh, I had to redo it. And then at that point I was like, okay, let me just redo the whole video because there's such like a weird dip in the audio quality that it's really obvious that I re-recorded it. Um and then the second time I recorded it and kind of further elaborated on everything, like really, really it went in depth, and it ended up being 2.5 hours. So I
oh,
was like, probably too long for any normal human being to watch. So I'm trying to like trim the fat, so to speak, but I also want to talk about every single submission, right? But I want to keep it to an hour because I feel like anything more than an hour is like kind of silly. It's not a matter of the the actual iceberg itself. It's more so me.
uh,
I have a huge problem of repetition and um like talking about things for too long because I like to hammer home an idea, but when the idea is very obvious, it's like, okay, all right, wrap it up, buddy. Like
yeah,
90% of the things in that script I could have cut down at least a few sentences each. So it's just a matter of me formatting the script. That's actually this is actually not a bad question for me. What is the hardest thing for me to make when I'm making a video? The script by
oh
far,
yeah,
because
that
I
is,
can write a script. Like I've taken classes for writing, but actually formatting it and making it match a certain length is very, very difficult for me. Like oh my god, the amount of times that I've like pumped out a script and I've been like, this is perfect, this is great, and then I actually voice it and I'm like, oh my god, this is like way too long. And when I'm actually listening to me talking, I'm like, wow, this is really bad. Like when you write a script, you're like, perfect, it's done,
yeah,
script is done. And then
and
when you actually apply it to it, it's like, oh no, this is terrible.
it ain't gonna work, man.
Yeah,
That sounds horrid. And then I have a problem that when I write a script, I think everything is okay.
yeah,
Even when I read it for myself again, it's okay. Then I start recording, and then it's like, fuck, I forgot to mention something there, and I just added off the script. And
exactly.
in my video, I just let it be. You can hear the change from the script to me just talking out of my ass. It's just a massive difference from the somewhat robotic voice to just yeah that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing that I have issues with, like a lot of people, especially on like my Twitter, people are like, "Oh, you're such a wacky guy, so you have no issue keeping people's attention." But when you're talking about a topic for a very long period of time, it is really hard to keep your audience engaged. It's really hard to make your content like
Interesting,
interesting.
it's
So with the iceberg video, it's absolutely nobody's fault because like it's great that somebody made that and thank you for making that, but it's like for I'm just terrible at making things interesting for a very long period of time. I'm a quick short burst kind of guy as opposed to like a long-winded thing. So trying to write that is just a matter of like trying to figure out the perfect length and speed and tone and everything. I mean, rest assured, it is on my to-do list, but it's just taking way longer than it should. Unfortunately, that is my bad though.
oh
I do fully intend on making it because I was originally going to do a Q&A, um, but I was like, this is a amazing because I used to do Q&As years ago. I think I have like two on my channel. They're really really old though, like years and years and years old. Um, I was thinking of doing a third one and being like, "Hey guys, I'm doing like a big proper one." But now that I have the iceberg, it answers a lot of questions that people would be asking anyway, and I think it's a little more interesting than just like, what sort of underwear do you wear?
yellow
Hanes underwear. I don't know. Like it's yeah, that sort of
bean
thing.
the Haynes beans.
So actually talking about like some of the the lore and heavy quotations of kind of what I've done is yeah. But it's like I got some pretty goofy stories that I want to tell in that list. But once again, it's just a matter of like formatting it properly to where it's funny to listen to the story, but it's not every single submission is a big long-winded story. Uh, but yeah, all good, all good.
Yeah, because the question came from this like the video I was saying I won't advertise, but unfortunately I think I will have to indirectly. I managed to make my own iceberg while I was waiting on yours. So yeah,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, and I have to say that for the people, the one special person that that said that he's the self-titled lore expert of parallel law. I'm uh, like 75% of the things on the iceberg he did not know.
Oh no, that's
Oh
rough.
boy.
I mean, obviously, like I have not talked about the Russian government kill list before
Oh
publicly,
no.
which is fun fact. The Russian government has me on a kill list.
What?
Yes,
No, not like in real life.
no, yeah, in real life.
In real life.
Yeah,
Uh what?
yeah. That's one of the things I like joking about because when I learned about it, I fucking cried myself to sleep. But
Wait,
be,
what?
but
What?
because I am in a Polish paramilitary organization, uh, that has is connected with the government, is connected with the military, officially. So we had a spy inside. He got caught in 2018, and he had all of the information on every single member up to 2018. I joined like I think a year or two before that, so yeah, that
What?
was fun.
Wait, I'm what? This is real.
Yeah, this
What?
is this is
I'm
real.
so I'm so puzzled.
Yeah,
I'm quite I'm flabbergasted actually. What?
that's
Wait, how old are you?
17.
Oh,
We'll
I
be turning 18 this year.
I I'm I'm so I'm exceptionally confused.
Yeah, man. You from
Uh,
this thing alone, you can say that I have an interesting life. 17 years already on 2 government watch lists.
That is so okay.
Yeah,
I did not know any of that. Huh.
yeah, that was. And it's not the worst. I mean, arguably, you could say it's the worst one.
I wonder what is the worst. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
jeez.
worst is connected. Oh, I'm gonna
It
go on
was
a
rhetorical. It was rhetorical. It was rhetorical.
I'm gonna go on a slight rant about my life here. Don't
Okay.
worry. It was a funny thing that like actually the third, no, technically the second, yeah, the second, because first I almost became a furry. Then I funny, right? I hate them now, but before I almost became one of them. I've joined a group of people, a community that hates pedophiles and zoophiles. That shit went down the shitter. God damn! Wow, that was a nice crescendo to all the clusterfuck. Amazing, simply perfect.
Oh dear.
Imagine your someone who you love as much as you would love a girlfriend or a wife, turning out that that person actually is not what they claimed to be.
Oh dear. I've definitely had my fair share of betrayals for sure. My goodness. I
Ah,
am sorry to
but
hear that.
I don't worry. I love joking about that because I've been after that. I stuck with that person for like a year or half. I don't know. I perfect. That was just a one big learning experience. Now I'm just looking back at it, saying, "Wow, you know, that was definitely interesting." But
I got you. Well,
that is
as long
that
as you learn something from it
yeah.
and
I
got
learned
something
I learned a
useful out of it.
lot. I learned a lot because
Well, there
before
you
joining the community, I was like, as every single child is, they usually believe people when they say stuff. I learned after all that I learned that no, you can't trust people on the internet. You can't trust people even if they are regarded as trustworthy by others.
I think everybody should be, no matter how popular you get, should always be. Like I think it's important to trust people, but it's also
Yeah,
important to stay vigilant.
yes,
That's my
exactly.
whole thing. But yeah,
I was not vigilant at all before that, but now technically I am kind of on the complete other side of this spectrum. But this iceberg was actually an attempt at opening up, and I decided, and I think it worked because now I actually can talk about this without sounding like I'm begging for attention. That was definitely an interesting thing.
I gotcha.
I like the iceberg that I made. It's just like uh tier three. It has it still has like some joke entries, and then tier four is a fucking uh just fucking goes first entry is a joke entry, and there is like pedophilia
Oh dear.
instantly. Just jump in.
Oh
Great.
dear. Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That
anyway.
was that was a jump, but I well, not like to talk about it, but I sometimes, well, after like what 3 years of just not talking about it at all, sometimes it's stronger than me, and I have to talk about it.
I see.
I think most people will understand that it's sometimes stronger.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah,
Um,
that's my story. Are you on any government watch lists?
I, a lot of, not to, this is sounds mighty suspicious, but a lot of people are on watch lists
I mean,
before they
yeah,
even
that's
realize it. There was a terrible tragedy that happened a few years ago in the United States, and one of the people said, "Well, this could have been prevented because you could have just checked what they're posting, and maybe you could have arrested them." And they're like, "Well, you can't arrest based off of just a couple of silly little Twitter posts and stuff like that." But then somebody said, "Wait, you knew this whole time that they were posting about these stuff?" And they say, "Yeah, well, actually, there's like millions, not, I don't know the exact number, but it is a concerning amount of people that are on watch lists just based off of what they tweet or what they say on the internet. And there's way more people than you would think that are on watch lists just based off of jokes. Like they showed
Yeah.
some of the examples. So there's literally people that were like, I'm gonna throw a Minecraft TNT block into the Parliament room, and it's like, okay, you're on a watch list now,
Yeah.
and they'll keep an eye on. Like, so that being said, to answer your question, I'm gonna say absolutely yes because of just how much of a cheeky guy I am on the internet. But like, is it actually for a dangerous reason?
No,
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 it's just
that's
because I'm a funky little guy on the internet.
it's
But I don't
like
really care.
it's like with the like I read somewhere that like China keeps the accounts of every single account that says something bad about China in a database. So it's basically, whatever you do, you probably end up somewhere on a list.
Exactly. I mean, you're on the internet, so
Yeah,
technically none of your stuff is safe. Like, not to paranoid people, but it's like, yeah, if
I have
you're out there, just be careful with what you do and what you say. And
recently it was very apparent in at least my side of the internet. Uh, Someone doxed a furry gore artist.
my goodness,
Yeah,
I'm not sure if this is something we
I
should.
mean, I'm not gonna go into details, but that was an interesting thing that would happen.
I would imagine, yeah. My goodness, my
I mean,
goodness.
I'm happy that he got doxed. I mean, face doxed, not really his address or anything yet, but he did get face doxed, and yeah, I'm not surprised that someone who looks like him posted what he posts.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Would you ever, if you had the ability to draw, would you ever draw your character eating aborted fetuses from a bucket?
I don't think I would. No, I don't think
Exactly.
I would. But that's that. Hey, if
Whatever
it's
flows your boat. Fucking
I as long as you're not hurting anyone, yeah,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really not. Actually, tell you what, I retract my previous statement. I'm not at liberty to say. I am really.
Ex-
This
I
is a
have
topic that I'm not going to touch with a 10-foot pole.
I have blackmail on Badger here.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not really at liberty to say. I don't have much. Not only am I not an artist, I just don't really have much of a leg to stand on, if I'm going to be honest. But
Yeah,
anyway, yeah. I'm just not going to touch that topic with a 10-foot pole.
yeah,
Let's not. Let's
yeah.
not.
But in my strong political opinion, I think that drawing something, anything eating fetuses is portraying that thing as evil and bad.
I think there's certainly better things to draw. There's
Yes,
better things
exactly.
to draw.
Especially if that art is supposed to prove a point, which it
Yeah.
was supposed to. I mean, I know, and
Uh,
actually the point was to make people upset. So yeah,
Oh dear. Yeah,
edgy.
I don't really know the full context, but
Yeah.
I don't really
Uh,
need to.
I
I
mean
don't think this
the
is.
context is,
Oh dear.
the context is that there is this artist and there is the people on the right side, the
I see.
anti-abortion people,
Okay,
and he wanted
I
to
understand.
make them mad, so he draw his,
Ah,
he played into their thing that
fear.
everyone who is pro the thing, they are evil.
I see.
Yeah, so and in my opinion, portraying yourself as the bad person is not a good idea. You're not
Yeah,
actually you're not supporting your cause at all. I think you're actually hurting it.
yeah. I would talk about this more, but I feel like I haven't really prepared myself to discuss such a topic. But also, you're not you are not of age, so I will not talk about that
I
topic.
listen. I may be not an adult, but I have seen many
Fair
things.
enough, but it's more so moral,
Yeah, that's
moral standing.
understandable. Yeah, obviously we do not.
Obviously, not to disrespect you or anything.
I am.
It's more so just moral compass, right?
I
But
understand you. Many people can and probably will or would have taken this conversation out of context to either smear you or me or both of us.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I come from the area of the internet that I've seen this happen many times. I know how it is.
Yeah,
I
like I
can I can survive being dragged through the mud, but for
fair
the
enough.
sake of you, we will not go
Yeah,
in.
exactly, exactly. And I appreciate that. No worries. And like I said, not to disrespect you or anything. It's just moral thing. And
Yeah,
I know that I am known for being a little off my rocker, but that there are
I
there are
know.
definitely limits to what I'll say and do, just because morals.
Yeah.
But yeah, no worries. All good, all good. But yeah, yeah. Are there any other questions or anything of that sort?
I don't think there are, but oh, and actually, that's the funny thing that I got reminded of. How the hell did the whole saga of your not safe for work account being leaked happen? What?
Oh, that's kind of on the whole moral thing again.
I mean,
Unfortunately,
listen. It's not about what you post on the account because I know I've seen it.
yeah,
You,
I wish you didn't, but
I mean,
that's
listen.
unfortunately the internet. But yeah,
Every everyone can like whatever it is as long as it's not something actually horrid.
yeah,
I joke
yeah.
about it a lot, that's obvious. You see me yell at you for
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but it's
I wish nobody that isn't of age saw it, but unfortunately, people were spreading it
I
around,
mean,
and that's
yeah,
just kind of how it is. And I apologize for that.
yeah, that's
That's disgusting that people would share that around. That being said, the main reason why it got shown around was uh, somebody was trying to find it. I'll keep it short because
yeah,
moral compass and all
obviously.
that, but long story short, somebody was trying to find it, and they did, and then they followed it, and then it showed up on everyone's followers you may know list. So people saw it, and then they put two and two together, and it went from there. So
Yeah,
it wasn't something that I could really lock down, even if I. And the thing is, if I locked down the account, then people would have been like, "Oh, it's
yeah,
absolutely then it's him." So the second that I take down the lock, then so I was
yeah,
just like, okay, there's literally nothing that I can do about this. Like I'm just gonna have to face the music. I mean, it's not like it's anything that's to be canceled over or anything, but it
yeah,
was like, yikes! Like
yeah,
people are seeing this, family, friends, coworkers, and people
yeah,
that shouldn't be seeing that content are seeing
yeah.
it, and I felt really terrible. And obviously, I apologize for that. But that was a situation that was unfortunately like kind of out of my control.
I mean, yeah,
I,
obviously, but
yeah,
uh, I think it was
but
very funny.
yeah, I mean, to some it was funny, but to me, it's funny now. But
Yes,
still, with
but
the
at
whole,
the
with my
time,
moral
yeah,
compass and everything,
at
yeah,
the
at the
time it
time it
was,
was terrible. And with
yeah,
my moral compass of certain people that shouldn't be seeing that content, we're seeing that.
yeah,
Still to this day, that is my probably my biggest regret. Um, but yeah, I won't talk about it a whole lot more, just because of that reason. I just obviously, if we were with other people, I'll happily talk about it more with more preparation and everything. But
yeah.
yeah, it's my moral compass kicking in, and I shouldn't be talking about this sort of stuff with you guys. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
no worries.
completely understandable. It's
Yeah.
the account itself was never meant to be discovered.
Yeah, I mean, I never really cared
I
if
mean,
it
yeah,
did, but I didn't think it would be that widespread. Like people were searching for it like it was the fucking holy grail.
the
Which I mean,
holy
like
grail of
that's funny that so many people are so invested in what I do and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's
dude.
like there are some people that I really don't want seeing that,
The cult
and
of
that
personality
shouldn't be
around
seeing
Henry Badger is so powerful. It turns people
that.
into liking things that they
Oh
wouldn't
god.
like normally.
Oh
Let's
dear.
just say.
Oh dear.
Do not
Oh
worry,
dear.
I'm not one of them. I
Oh dear.
find I find fat
Oh dear.
people ripples.
All right. Okay, all right. But yeah, anyway. That's that.
Yeah,
It's in the past now. Luckily it's
yes.
over, and it's sort of blown over. But yeah, for anybody watching, I do apologize for the whole thing there, because that went out of hand way more than I expected.
Oh, and
Uh
and
but yeah.
by the way, while we on the topic, the remember the post credits scene I was talking about?
Oh yeah, you mentioned that, and
Yeah.
I was out. with some buddies, so I didn't like really read what you said, but
Yeah,
it was something along the lines of mentioning that.
yeah.
I'd be careful with that, buddy.
I'm not.
I
No,
don't know the
don't worry.
context, but
It was a one-time gag. I'm not actually going to implement
oh,
it.
okay,
It was just.
oh, okay,
It was actually just. I made it way back when it was. I found out personally about your account. I mean, that's a great thing to tie in the Badger character from my thing that was
fair
technically
enough.
kind of based on you to you, real you, and then I made it and I added you, and there was a funny thing there.
Fair enough.
Fortunately that account is now suspended, so nobody will ever know that that your account had the at of.
Oh boy. Yeah, yeah, and I mean it's totally fine to make jokes about it, but
Yeah,
the only problem that I have with it is you're not of the age, so
yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't no no
or not
don't.
not to crap on you, but I'm not particularly comfortable about
I
those
completely
sorts of
understand.
people
Yeah,
seeing
don't
that.
no worries, man. I know how
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
I will save that account because it's I mean not the account but the video purely because it's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Not only the the part when they mention your account, but the entire thing. It's just so dumb.
Oh, no, I would imagine. I mean, I haven't seen it, right? But I'm sure it's hilarious. But yeah, yeah. I mean, people can mention it, people can make jokes and stuff like that, but there are limits to how
Yeah,
far I'm willing to go for that sort of thing. And I feel like this is a very dangerous gray area that I don't even want to touch with anything,
yeah.
right? So
That's
so yeah,
that's also what we are about what we are talking with Boromir before, and we were laughing our asses off because uh, we were thinking about what would happen if someone didn't know you had a not safe for work account and they watched the video, they watched it and then they went look it
yeah.
up. That's why I will not include it, purely because it will
Yeah,
remind.
just in general,
Yeah,
it's a very dangerous game to play, and
yeah.
I don't want anyone getting in trouble, right?
Exactly.
It's, so
I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want to be the cause of someone's downfall. Especially, I mean, when I no, let me rephrase that. I don't want to be the cause of someone's nice downfall. When someone is
there
nice.
you go. Yeah, exactly. So
But
yeah, it's something that I'll probably have to wrap up,
yeah,
because
you'll
yeah.
have to end the saga of mentioning you're not safe for
Yeah,
work account.
I didn't want to make a public statement about it, but it's like luckily it's blown over, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
But it was sort of like if that many people are seeing it, I do need to let
You
people
know.
know that it's like, hey, please don't, because
Yeah.
because
Obviously,
it's yeah.
it could have been even worse.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it was good, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
meaningless.
It's like this gray area between totally horrible and fine. It's like
Yeah,
this.
at first it was like a fun little joke
Yeah, that's
meme
like
thing, but then there are some people that I don't want seeing it, just
yeah,
in general,
yeah.
like family and coworkers and stuff like that, but also, other
Uh,
groups and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, yeah, people
it's
can
funny in
mention
a
it, but
circle.
it's like, yeah, it's funny in a circle, but in a large out there in the world sort of scenario, it's a very dangerous game to play, and
Yeah,
I really don't want people playing that game.
yeah.
So that's my official statement, I guess. Sorry for people who saw it. Uh, yeah. Anyway,
I
anyway.
apologize to people that I exposed to that like free.
Yeah, there are some people watching this is their first time, and I yeah, definitely put a warning on that, maybe, because I don't want anyone
I mean,
any youngins.
they know that it exists. They just don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, but I really don't want them looking at that sort of stuff, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm not gonna go on a whole rant.
About
Everybody
how
knows
bad
where
this
my
stuff is.
morals
Yeah.
are. Yeah, everyone knows my moral compass. Everybody knows that. Obviously, that's not what I support, but um, I don't need a whole video explaining why. But anyway, yeah.
The Henry Badger
Moving on.
Logan Paul type apology. I am so
Oh
sorry
God.
that you chose to look at the
Moving
account.
on. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it is a choice, but yeah, I don't wanna get
Yeah.
into any of that, right? But anyway,
Yes. Yes.
moving on.
Moving on. I think.
Is there any other sort of questions that you might have
I
or
think.
anything
I
like
think
that?
that would be it. To be honest, there's like
Okay, fair enough.
we are approaching the slowly the 2 hour mark. So I think for uh for this podcast it was quite nice. I have to say that I have to declare that it was a success.
There we go. All right,
Yes.
as long as it's a success, all good by my
Yes.
books. It was fun talking about video games with you guys and the silly little uh
Side
Canadian
adventures.
Canadian government stuff. Yeah, that was
Yes.
fun. But all good, all good,
I'm so
all good.
sad that my government isn't funny. They are just serious, mostly.
Oh,
I don't think I don't. No
I don't
way.
know much
There
about the
was
government,
actually one funny thing that once happened. Our president accidentally, when he was talking about the war in Ukraine, right? He accidentally he was saying about like thanks to the brave of the efforts of the brave soldiers of Ukraine and the noble Russian soldiers. Ukraine is still in the fight.
oh my,
It was on national television.
oh my God,
or
that's
or
wild.
but it was funny. Or that time when he said something, a friend in need is a friend in dick.
Oh dear,
I
oh
love
dear.
I love Mr. President Duda. He's a fucking hilarious man.
Yeah, exactly,
Oh my god.
exactly. Good
Oh,
stuff.
overall, yeah, politics can be funny, but most of the time, currently in current politics in my country is just how many tanks can we buy off of the Koreans, and that's it. It's literally everyone is talking about the tanks, bro. Like, come on, how many? How? I don't care. Okay, can we focus on something else for a bit? It's so uncharacteristic because I am like a military uh, nerd, you could say. But I swear to
Mhm.
God, I can hear up. You know, there's a limit on how
Yeah,
much
exactly.
stuff I can hear. Look, Jesus Christ, focus on the taxes, please, for once.
Yeah, but yeah, I think we'll probably wrap things up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Uh,
it. I think
yeah,
it's gonna
cool.
be.
Well, it was good talking with you fellas and talking about silly little games. And thanks for thinking of me and having me on your little podcast here.
No problem,
I
man.
would
The
have loved
pleasure
to
is
have
all
told you more,
mine.
but I am nearing the verge of passing out.
Okay, you
He's
rest
going.
up there, pal. To the both of you, you rest up and
Yeah.
have a good one.
Yeah.
I'll probably skedaddle right now, but
Yeah.
yeah, you guys take care and thanks again.
Yeah, no
You
problem, man.
too, pleasure.
So,
All right.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
bye bye. So yeah, closing thoughts. I hope you all guys enjoyed. I hope that Barometer you will have a nice nap.
I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're gonna wake up the next day. It's like
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
one time I was actually the only time I like slept through a whole day was after my first like first I don't know how to call it, like a camp, you could say, from the paramilitary organization I was in. That was fucking fun. But yeah, that was interesting. Anyways, we will end it here. So I hope it was good, as I said before, and we will see
It
you.
was nice.
Yeah, we will see you in
Mm.
the next episode. Oh, actually, now I will say one more thing. If you have any people you would want to see on the podcast, give them direct them to me or
Suggestions.
direct me to them, and we will arrange it. So yeah,
That would be nice.
yeah, good a good sleeping there.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, so I will end it now.
Alright,
Bye bye, guys.
goodbye.